Is it true that Maharaji was not affected by the Yogi Medicine? Were you with him when this event occurred? Maharaji took the Yogi Medicine, LSD, 2 times. One time on Ram Dass's first visit to India, and the second time during Ram Dass's second visit. I was there, Rameshwar Das was there, Dwarkanath was there, maybe Jagannath Das was also there. So we were all there, and we all sat with him, and we all saw that it didn't affect him at all. Absolutely. He said, yogis have known about this for thousands of years. It used to grow up in the Kulu Valley. A yogi would go, calm down, he would calm his body and his mind, and he would bring his mind to one point, take the medicine, and go through the door. That's what he said. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's what he said. In one YouTube video I saw, Baba was patting Mr. Tiwari. That's a nice way of putting it. Could you please share the story? Well, I wasn't there, but I've seen the video, and also Tiwari and I spoke about it many times. That was the last day that Maharaji was in Kenchi. Later that day, he left the temple, took the train down to Agra, and on his way back to the mountains, he got off the train in Vrindavan and had a heart attack and left the body. What you're referring to, that day Mr. Tiwari went into very, very deep samadhi, a very, very deep state of consciousness. And he had been standing behind the crowd, kind of leaning on a pole, and he almost fell over, and Maharaji saw and had him brought up to sit in front of him. And Tiwari was just gone. He was in a very deep state. And what you're seeing when he's bashing, you said patting, that's a nice word. He was bashing him on the head. He was bringing him back into his body. And gradually Tiwari came back, and yeah, then they went into the back room together for a while, and Maharaji said to Tiwari, he said, you know, you're the guru now. You take care of the Westerners. And Tiwari said, I can't do that, I won't do that. And Maharaji reached under his blanket and he took out a huge pile of money and he threw it to Tiwari. He said, take this and go to America and take care of the Westerners. And Maharaji and Tiwari started to cry and weep. And he said, that's not why I don't come to you for these things. I don't want this, I don't want this, I can't do it, I won't do it. So Maharaji took the money back and he said, okay, if you won't do it, what can I do? So then Tiwari kind of collected himself and he says to Maharaji, oh, now I see what kind of a Baba you are. You're a money Baba. You carry money with you all the time. You're a money Baba. And Maharaji laughed and he said, oh, you're gonna fuck with me? You're gonna screw around with me? And he goes like this, and he opens his blanket where he had just put the money away. And instead of money, hundreds of little pieces of paper fell out all over the room. And Maharaji said, see these pieces of paper? This is all my devotees' addresses and numbers. I'm old now and I can't remember their names, so I keep their addresses with me. But you're a greedy bastard, so you saw money. This is how they used to play. And then they walked from one room to the other. And in that second room, Siddhi Ma, Jivanti Ma, maybe somebody else was there. And Maharaji goes to the door, he opens the door, and he turns back inside. And he starts to weep. And he says to Siddhi Ma, I can never repay the debt I owe to you. And he's weeping, everybody's weeping. And then he turns and faces the outside, and immediately the crying disappears, and he's like a little boy, and he's saying, now I'm free, now I'm free, now I'm getting out of central jail. Now I'm getting out of central jail. And then he turned back to Siddhi Ma again, and again, crying like a baby. I can never repay the debt I owe to you. I can never repay the debt. And he's crying, she's crying, everybody's crying. And then he turns again to the outside, and immediately, complete change. Now I'm getting out of central jail. Then he walked across the courtyard, stood in front of Hanumanji's Murti for a while, and then he started to walk out of the temple, and his blanket fell off of him. And he kept going, walking across the bridge, and got into the car, and Dada took the blanket and folded up and brought it to him. And Maharaji said, I don't want that anymore. But Dada put it in the car. And then he went down to the train, and within a couple of days he left the body. So that's the story of that day. Part of the story. A lot of things happen on that day for a lot of people.